My name is Vorn Kellix, Senior Biomechanical Engineer for the Krell Confederation, and I need you to understand something right from the start. I am good at my job. No, scratch that. I am exceptional at my job. 15 years of designing exoskeletal support systems, 12 patents to my name, and a commendation from the High Council itself. So when I tell you that what happened in Testing Bay 7 defied every law of physics, biology, and common sense that I hold dear, you need to believe me. The KG-4000 gravity resistance suit was supposed to be my masterpiece. 3 years of development, 400 million credits in funding, and enough computational modeling to fill a data vault the size of a cargo freighter. The concept was simple, elegant even. A full-body exoskeletal framework that could simulate increased gravitational forces on the wearer, allowing soldiers, laborers, and athletes from low-gravity worlds to train and adapt for high-gravity environments without actually traveling to those death traps. The specifications were beautiful. Carbon composite frame reinforced with titanium neural mesh, micro-hydraulic resistance nodes at every major joint, and a distributed power core that could maintain up to 12 times standard gravity for a full 8-hour cycle. We had tested it on vaccine-strength competitors who are, for those unfamiliar, approximately 4 times as strong as the average Krell. The suit had performed flawlessly. Level 6 resistance, which simulated 6 times standard gravity, had brought their mightiest warrior to his knees within 40 minutes. Exactly as designed. Testing Bay 7 was a monument to safety and precision. 40 meters square, reinforced flooring rated for industrial manufacturing equipment, medical stations at every corner, and enough monitoring equipment to track a flea's heartbeat from across the room. The observation deck where I stood that morning was equipped with holographic displays showing real-time biometric data, structural stress analyses, and enough emergency shut-off switches to stop a planetary collision. I remember checking the chronometer. 0800 hours exactly. Everything was ready. My team, 6 of the brightest engineers in the Confederation, stood at their stations. Dr. Mixtar, our xenobiology specialist, was reviewing the physiological baseline data. Technician Belthaus was running final diagnostics on the suit's power distribution network. Everyone was professional, focused, ready. Then the door to the testing bay opened and Tobias Grant walked in. Now, I had worked with humans before. The Terran Concordat had joined the Galactic Council only 30 cycles ago, but they had proven themselves valuable allies, decent engineers, surprisingly creative tacticians, and their entertainment media was oddly addictive, but I had never worked with one directly, and certainly not in a physical testing capacity. Tobias was, by human standards, apparently average, about 1.8 meters tall, brown hair cropped short, wearing what he called a tank top and gym shorts that seemed wildly inappropriate for a military-grade equipment test. He carried a water bottle for star's sake, like he was going for a casual walk in a biodome park. "Morning, everyone," he said, his voice carrying that strange blend of consonants and vowels that made human speech sound almost musical. He smiled, showing those flat teeth that still unnerved me. "So, this is the gravity suit. Looks pretty solid. When do we start?" I should have known then. I should have seen the warning signs. The casual confidence, the complete lack of concern. The way he stretched his arms above his head like he was preparing for something routine. But I was proud. The suit was perfect. The protocols were airtight. What could possibly go wrong? "Oh, you naive fool," passed Vorn. "You beautiful, ignorant idiot." I gestured toward the holographic display, activating the presentation I had prepared with meticulous care. 3-dimensional schematics of the KG-4000 rotated in the air, each component highlighted and labeled. "Mr. Grant," I began, using my most professional tone, "the gravity resistance suit operates on a principle of progressive mechanical resistance. The exoskeletal frame contains micro-hydraulic pistons at each major joint: shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, ankles. When activated, these pistons create opposing force that simulates the effect of increased gravitational pull." Tobias nodded, taking a sip from his water bottle. Right. So it makes everything heavier. "Got it." "Not precisely," Dr. Mixtar interjected, her mandibles clicking with slight irritation. "It increases the resistance your muscles must overcome to achieve movement. The effect is similar to higher gravity, but the mechanism is purely mechanical rather than gravitational." "Sure. Yeah, same difference," Tobias said, waving his hand dismissively. "How high does it go?" I felt my dorsal ridge stiffen. "Same difference?" The physics were entirely distinct, but I pressed on. "The suit has 12 progressive levels. Level 1 provides resistance equivalent to 1.5 times standard galactic gravity. Each subsequent level increases by 0.5 increments. Level 12 simulates 7 times standard gravity." 7 times? Tobias's eyebrows rose. "Not in fear," I noted, "but in what appeared to be interest. That is pretty solid. It is far beyond solid, Mr. Grant. It is in fact potentially lethal. I pulled up the test footage from our previous trials. This is Commander Jax Thor of the Vaccine Coalition. His species evolved on a 2.3 gravity world. He is considered one of the strongest beings in this sector. The hologram showed the massive vaccine warrior, his forearms bulging with corded muscle, stepping into the suit. The footage showed him progressing through level 1 and 2 with relative ease. At level 3, his movements became labored. By level 4 he was moving in slow motion, each step a monumental effort. At level 6 he collapsed. Medical intervention was required after 16 minutes, I explained. His cardiovascular system was under extreme duress. We had to spend 3 days recalibrating his physiology. Tobias watched the footage with his head tilted. He did not look like he was having fun. Fun? Velthus stammered from his station. Mr. Grant, this is not entertainment. This is military-grade conditioning equipment. The safety protocols exist for critical reasons. I activated another display. You will start at level 1. You will remain at each level for no less than 10 minutes while we monitor your vital signs, heart rate, respiration, muscle stress indicators, neural activity, If any parameter exceeds safe thresholds, we initiate immediate shutdown. Non-negotiable.
Okay, Tobias said,
Setting down his water bottle and starting to do what appeared to be arm rotations. But real quick, what is standard galactic gravity? Like compared to Earth? Dr. Mixthar consulted her datapad. Standard galactic gravity is 9.81 meters per second squared. Earth's gravity is... Oh, her voice trailed off. She looked at her datapad again, then at Tobias, then back at her datapad. What? I demanded. Earth's gravity is 9.78 meters per second squared, she said slowly. It is essentially identical to standard galactic gravity. 0.03 difference. My stomach, or the Krell equivalent of 1, dropped. Wait, I said, my voice coming out higher than intended. You are telling me that humans evolved on a 1-gravity world, a standard gravity world? Yeah, pretty much, Tobias confirmed, now doing lunges, in my testing facility, before we had even begun. Why? Is that weird? Every species we had tested so far came from lower gravity environments. The vaccine were an exception, an anomaly, a statistical outlier, and this human, this casual, water bottle carrying human, came from a world that matched standard gravity exactly. Mr. Grant, I said carefully, what exactly is your normal exercise routine on Earth? He shrugged. Oh, you know, weights, mostly, cardio. I run about 5 kilometers most mornings, hit the gym for an hour or 2. Pretty standard stuff. I should have stopped the test right there. The KG-4000 looked impressive on the equipment rack, all gleaming metal and sophisticated engineering. Watching Tobias step into it should have been a moment of triumph for me. Instead, I felt a creeping sense of dread that I could not quite explain. Arms through here, legs into these slots, Velthos instructed, helping Tobias into the frame. The neural mesh will conform to your body structure automatically. You may feel a slight tingling sensation as the biometric sensors make contact. Feels fine, Tobias said, flexing his arms as the suit sealed around him. Actually pretty comfortable. Good padding on the shoulder joints. The padding was reinforced gel foam designed to prevent the suit from crushing the wearer's skeleton under extreme resistance. I decided not to mention that particular detail. All systems green. Technician Rivenal called from her station. Power core at optimal output. Hydraulic pressure nominal. Biometric sensors locked on target. I watched the holographic display as it mapped Tobias's vital signs. Resting heart rate, 62 beats per minute. Respiration, 14 breaths per minute. Core temperature, 37 degrees. All within normal human parameters, according to our database. Activating level 1, I announced, my hand hovering over the control interface. Mr. Grant, you should feel increased resistance immediately. Do not attempt any sudden movements. Let your body adjust to the new parameters. I engaged the system. The suit hummed to life. The micro-hydraulics pressurizing with a soft hiss. The resistance nodes glowed pale blue, indicating active status. On my display, the force readings climbed steadily. 1.5 times standard gravity, distributed across his entire body. Every muscle would now have to work 50% harder to achieve the same movements. Tobias took a step forward, then another. Then he started walking in a circle, completely casual, like he was strolling through a market district. He said, and my heart sank at his tone. Is it on? Yes, Mr. Grant. It is most certainly on, Dr. Mixthar said, her voice strained. You are currently experiencing 1.5 times gravitational resistance. He bounced on his toes. Bounced. The vaccine commander had needed full concentration just to lift his feet at this level. It feels like I do not know, maybe wearing a weighted vest. Super light one? That is impossible, I muttered, checking my readouts. The system is functioning perfectly. You should be feeling significant resistance. Oh, I feel it, Tobias assured me. It is just not very much, you know. Can we bump it up a bit? No, I said immediately. Protocol requires 10 minutes minimum at each level. Right, totally understand. He started doing jumping jacks. Jumping jacks? At 1.5 gravity? Just seems like a waste of time if we are going to go super slow about this. 9 minutes of watching Tobias perform calisthenics that should have been difficult, but looked effortless, did nothing to calm my nerves. He did push-ups. He did squats. He jogged in place. His heart rate barely elevated to 80 beats per minute. Level 2, I announced, perhaps more aggressively than necessary. 2 times standard gravity, the equivalent of doubling his body weight. The pressure would be immense. Surely this would slow him down. Tobias did a practice squat. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I can feel it. This is more like it. More like it? Belfos repeated weakly. Yeah. This is like when I wear my 40-pound weight vest at home. Nice. He started doing lunges across the testing bay. Deep, controlled lunges that showed absolutely no sign of strain. I stared at Dr. Mixtar. She stared back. Neither of us spoke. What was there to say? 6 minutes into level 2, Tobias stopped. My hand flew to the emergency shutdown, but he was just stretching his hamstrings. Hey, Forn, how much longer are we going to do the 10-minute thing? 'Cause I have got to be honest, this is kind of boring. Boring, I repeated flatly. No offense, the suit is great really. But if we are testing the upper limits, maybe we could, actually get to the upper limits. I have only got the bay reserved until 1400 hours. Something inside me snapped, not in anger but in a kind of fatalistic curiosity. The kind of curiosity that makes scientists do phenomenally stupid things in the name of discovery. Fine, I said. Level 3, 3 times gravity. The point where most species began experiencing serious cardiovascular strain. Tobias did 10 perfect pull-ups on the testing bar. Level 4, 4 times gravity. Organ stress becomes critical for standard biology. Tobias started doing one-legged squats, alternating legs, maintaining perfect balance. Level 5, 5 times gravity. We were now in territory that could cause permanent damage. Now we are talking, Tobias said cheerfully, doing burpees. Burpees. Do you know what a burpee is? It is a form of exercise specifically designed by humans to punish themselves, and he was doing them at 5 times gravity with a smile on his face. Sir, Rivnal called out, her voice cracking. Sir, his vitals are completely stable. Actually, they are better than stable. His endorphin levels are spiking. He is enjoying this. I looked at the emergency shutdown button. Then I looked at Tobias, who was now doing mountain climbers, whatever those were, his breathing barely elevated. Then I looked back at the shutdown button. I did not press it. May the ancestors forgive me, I did not press it. Level 8. I heard myself say, as if my voice belonged to someone else entirely. Someone who had abandoned all sense of self-preservation and professional responsibility. 8 times standard gravity. The suit's hydraulics whined in protest, a high-pitched sound that made my teeth ache. Warning indicators flashed amber on 3 different subsystems. The micro-pistons were operating at 87% of maximum theoretical capacity. We had never, not once in 3 years of development, pushed the KG-4000 this far. Tobias grabbed the pull-up bar with both hands, the suit's arm joints creaking audibly under the resistance. Okay, yeah, this is actually challenging. Finally, he pulled himself up. The bar, which was rated for industrial cargo handling, bent slightly. Not from his weight, but from the sheer force the suit was generating to resist his movement. His chin cleared the bar. He lowered himself with perfect control, then did it again. By the void, Dr. Mixar whispered beside me. His muscle fibers should be tearing. His skeletal structure should be fracturing. His cardiovascular system should be in complete failure. But the biometric readings told a different story. Heart rate, 135 beats per minute. Elevated, certainly, but nowhere near dangerous levels. Blood oxygen, 98%. Respiration controlled and steady at 22 breaths per minute. He was exercising. Actually exercising. At 8 times gravity. How many reps are you going for? Velthos asked, his voice somewhere between awe and horror. Oh, I usually do sets of 15. Tobias grunted, pulling himself up for the 7th time. But with this resistance, maybe just 12 to start. Do not want to overdo it on the first day, you know? Overdo it. Overdo it. He was operating a military-grade resistance suit at levels that could liquefy most species' internal organs, and he was worried about overdoing it. Pull-up number 12. He dropped from the bar, landing with a heavy thud that cracked a reinforced floor plating. Not a catastrophic crack, just a small fracture, barely noticeable, except that the floor was rated for 40 metric tons of pressure. Whoops, sorry about that, Tobias said, looking down at the crack. I will try to land softer. The floor, Revmal said faintly. He cracked the floor. By landing, moving on to squats. Tobias announced cheerfully, positioning himself in the center of the bay. Might need to really focus on form with this much weight. He descended into a squat, his thighs parallel to the ground. The suit screamed, not metaphorically. The hydraulic system produced a sound like tearing metal as every piston in the leg assembly fought against his movement. He held the position for 2 seconds, then drove upward with explosive force. The suit's power core spiked to 93% output. 1, Tobias counted. Down again. The floor groaned beneath him. Up again. The suit's frame visibly shook. 2. I noticed that my entire engineering team had abandoned their stations and crowded around the observation windows. Someone from the medical bay next door had apparently heard the noise and brought colleagues. A maintenance worker stood frozen in the doorway, holding a cleaning device, mouth hanging open. So, quick question, Tobias said, descending into his 5th squat. Does this thing go higher than level 8? Because I am starting to find my groove here, and it would be cool to really test my max. There are 12 levels total, I answered automatically, my brain apparently no longer capable of rational thought. But Mr. Grant, no biological entity has ever survived past level 9. The force is simply too extreme. Well, sure, I get that, he said, standing from squat number 8. But also, we are here already, and I am feeling pretty good. What is the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen? The worst that could happen? I could provide him a detailed list, complete with holographic medical imagery and probability matrices. But he was already moving to lunge at level 9, I said. Because apparently I had chosen chaos, 9 times standard gravity. The suit's safety system started throwing warning messages faster than I could read them. Structural integrity at 82%. Power core running hot. Hydraulic fluid temperature approaching critical thresholds. Tobias did walking lunges across the entire 40-meter length of the testing bay. Then back. Then, because the universe had clearly abandoned all pretense of sanity, he did them again while holding his arms extended straight out to his sides. Great for core engagement, he explained, as if anyone had asked. You really feel the burn in your stabilizer muscles with arms out like this. A technician I did not recognize had appeared in the observation deck. Is that a human? She asked. Unfortunately, I replied. Are they all like this? I have no idea, and I am terrified to find out. Tobias finished his lunges and transitioned immediately into what he called Bulgarian split squats, which involved putting one foot on the pull-up bar behind him and squatting on the other leg. The suit's leg assembly was now producing smoke. Actual smoke, thin wisps of it curling from the knee joints. Born, Tobias called out. Is the suit supposed to be smoking? No, Mr. Grant, it absolutely is not. Should I stop? I looked at the diagnostic readouts. 12 different systems in amber warning status. 3 approaching red. The suit was being pushed far beyond its designed operational parameters, but it was still functioning. Somehow, impossibly, it was still functioning, and more importantly, I needed to know how far this could go. Can you stop? I asked instead. Tobias paused mid-squat, considering. I probably should not skip leg day entirely. Maybe a few more exercise, then continue, I said. And somewhere in the back of my mind, a tiny voice screamed that I had violated every safety protocol ever written. Awesome! He switched to jump squats. Jump squats. At 9 times gravity, propelling his entire body plus the suit's mass, plus 9 times the resistance, off the ground repeatedly. Each landing created a new crack in the floor. You know what is funny? Tobias said between jumps, his breathing finally starting to sound labored. Back home I have this trainer, Rodriguez. Absolute monster of a guy. He would love this suit. Could probably do his whole workout at level 12. Easy. There were more humans like this. Multiple humans. An entire planet of them. Sweet merciful void. Dr. Mixer whispered. Earth is not a death world. It is a forge world. They are all weapons. Tobias finished his 20th jump squat and grinned at the observation deck. Okay. Who wants to see what level 10 feels like? Every single person in that room, myself included, said yes. We were scientists after all. And this was data we could not ignore. Level 10 was where my beautiful, perfect 3-year masterpiece began to die. The transition from level 9 to level 10 should have been smooth. A simple increase in hydraulic pressure, a recalibration of resistance nodes, nothing the KG-4000 had not been designed to handle. In theory, the moment I activated level 10, every single display on the observation deck turned red. Critical temperature and primary hydraulic lines, Rivnal reported, her voice climbing an octave. Secondary power couplings at 104% capacity. Structural microfractures detected in left shoulder assembly, right hip joint, both knee actuator, coolant system compensating. Velthos added, frantically swiping through diagnostic screens. Wait. No, coolant system is overloaded. Backup cooling engaged. Backup cooling also overloaded. 10 times standard gravity. The suit was now fighting against forces it was never ever meant to endure for more than theoretical emergency scenarios. The carbon composite frame groaned audibly. The titanium neural mesh began to glow faintly from internal heat. And Tobias? Tobias started doing push-ups.
"Oh man," he said, lowering himself slowly to the ground.
The floor cracked further beneath his hands. Okay, this is legitimately hard. This is good. This is like when I do push-ups with my buddy Chen sitting on my back. He does these exercises with additional humans on top of him. Dr. Mixtar said, not as a question, but as a statement of defeated acceptance. Push-up number 5. The suit's right elbow joint seized completely, locked at 90 degrees. Tobias paused, frowned, then pushed through it anyway. The joint made a sound like breaking glass, then suddenly freed up. Hydraulic fluid sprang in a fine mist from a ruptured seal. Whoa! Is that supposed to happen? He asked, looking at the fluid. No, I shouted. Mr. Grant, we need to initiate shutdown immediately. Just let me finish this set, he grunted, lowering himself again. Only got 3 more push-ups. 3 more push-ups. While my life's work literally fell apart around him, the left shoulder assembly began sparking. Electrical discharge arcing between exposed components. The power core temperature spiked to dangerous levels, triggering automatic thermal shutdowns that Tobias's continued movement kept overriding. Push-up number 8. Complete. Okay. Yeah, that is a good burn, he said, standing up. The suit's legs shook violently, stabilization systems completely overwhelmed. Hey, so, this might sound crazy, but is there a level 11, or 12? I feel like I have got maybe one more level in me before I am really tired. The suit is failing. I practically screamed. Look at it. It is covered in fractures, leaking hydraulic fluid. The power core is approaching meltdown. Tobias looked down at himself, seeming to notice the damage for the first time. Smoke was now pouring from multiple joints. Sparks cascaded from his shoulders like a small fireworks display. Hydraulic fluid dripped from his elbows and knees, pooling on the cracked floor. Oh dang, he said. I thought that was sweat. My bad. Initiating emergency shutdown, I announced, slamming my hand on the control panel. Nothing happened. I pressed it again, and again. The shutdown command flashed on my screen, acknowledged by the system, but the suit remained active. The resistance was locked at level 10. The hydraulics frozen in their current configuration. Born? Velthos said quietly. The suit is not responding to shutdown commands. The system is too damaged. The control circuits are fried. So manual release then. I turned to Rivnal. Get down there and trigger the manual releases, sir. The manual releases are electronic. Of course they were. Of course they were electronic. Because I had designed this suit to be cutting-edge, sophisticated with multiple redundant safety systems, all of which required functional electronics to operate. Electronics that were currently on fire. Tobias, I said, forcing my voice to remain calm. Do not move. Any movement might cause catastrophic structural failure of the suit. We need to figure out how to get you out safely. Oh, no problem, Tobias said. Then he reached up, grabbed the chest plate of the suit with both hands and pulled. The sound was indescribable. Metal tearing, composite materials shattering, hydraulic lines rupturing completely. He ripped the suit open like it was made of paper, pieces of my 3-year, 400 million credit masterpiece scattering across the testing bay floor. 10 seconds. It took him 10 seconds to completely destroy what was left of the KG-4000 and step out of the wreckage, completely unharmed. He stretched his arms over his head, rolled his shoulders and smiled. Man, that was a great workout. Really feel it in my delts. Same time tomorrow. I sat down on the observation deck floor. I did not faint. I did not scream. I simply sat down and stared at the destroyed remains of my life's work while my brain tried desperately to process what I had just witnessed. Humans were not normal. Earth was not normal. And I would never ever design military equipment without consulting human biology first. Never again. The damage assessment took 3 hours. 3 long, soul-crushing hours of cataloging every broken component, every ruptured seal, every fractured support strut of what had once been the KG-4000 gravity-resistant suit. Velthos read from his datapad in a monotone voice that suggested he had emotionally disconnected from reality. Total structural failure of primary exoskeletal frame. Catastrophic hydraulic system collapse across all resistance nodes. Power core casing cracked in 4 places. We are lucky it did not actually explode. 73% of electronic control systems completely destroyed. both knee assemblies sheared off at the mounting points. The titanium neural mesh is melted in 17 locations. Estimated repair cost? I asked, though I already knew the answer would hurt. Repair is impossible, sir. This is scrap. Total replacement cost would be approximately 600 million credits. Accounting for the prototype components, 600 million credits. Gone. Transformed into a pile of smoking fluid-leaking debris by one human doing what he considered a pretty decent workout. Tobias sat on a bench in the corner of the testing bay, toweling off his face with a cloth Rivnal had nervously provided. He looked completely relaxed, satisfied even, like someone who had just enjoyed a pleasant afternoon activity. "So," I said, walking over to him with Dr. Mixtar trailing behind me like a shell-shocked shadow, "your normal workout routine. Please describe it. In detail." "Oh sure." Tobias brightened immediately. "Well, I usually start with a 5-kilometer run like I mentioned. That is just warm-up. Gets the blood flowing, you know? Then I hit the gym. Monday is chest and triceps, so I will do bench press, usually around 130 kilograms for working sets." Dr. Mixtar made a strangled sound. 130 kilograms? You lift mass equivalent to 2 adult Krell? Repeatedly. "Well yeah, but that is not even that impressive back home. My buddy Rodriguez, the one I mentioned, he benches 200 kilos. Guy is an absolute beast." Tobias took a sip from his water bottle. "After bench I do incline press, dips, skull crushers, overhead extensions, then maybe some cable work for definition." "And this is normal?" I asked. "For humans, I mean I am probably slightly above average. I work out 5, sometimes 6 days a week, but plenty of people are way stronger than me. Professional athletes, powerlifters, CrossFit people. Those folks are on another level entirely. There are levels above this?" Vilthos appeared beside us, datapad hanging limply in his hand. "Multiple levels, oh yeah. Tons. You should see Olympic weightlifters. Or strongman competitors. Those guys pull vehicles, flip giant tires, carry boulders. It is insane." He said this casually, as if describing a mildly interesting hobby rather than feats that would be considered physically impossible for 90% of known species. I pulled up my datapad, accessing the human information database we had compiled when Earth joined the Galactic Council. According to our records, human muscular efficiency is approximately 1.3 times that of comparable mammalian species from similar gravity environments. "Sure, sounds about right," Tobias agreed. "That does not explain this." I gestured wildly at the destroyed suit. 1.3 times efficiency does not account for operating at 10 times gravity while my equipment literally disintegrates around you. "Oh well, that is probably the Death World thing," he said. As if this explained everything. Silence. Complete, absolute silence in the testing bay. "The what?" Dr. Mixtar finally whispered. "Death World. You know Earth." Tobias looked at our blank faces. "Wait, do you guys not know about this? Earth is classified as a Class 12 Death World by the Galactic Council. I thought everybody knew that." I pulled up the classification database with shaking hands, searched for Earth, and there it was, buried in the planetary data that I had never thought to actually read thoroughly. Class 12 Death World. Extreme biodiversity. Hyper-competitive evolutionary environment. Atmospheric oxygen percentage lethal to most species. Macro-predators on every continent. Micro-predators in every ecosystem. Weather systems capable of destroying cities. Tectonic activity. Volcanic activity. Frequent asteroid impacts in geological record. Native species demonstrate extreme adaptability. Redundant biological systems and disproportionate strength-to-mass ratios. Your planet is rated more dangerous than 78% of cataloged worlds in the known galaxy," I said, my voice barely audible. "Huh, 78%. I thought it would be higher, honestly. We have got some pretty serious stuff. Hurricanes, earthquakes, bears, sharks, venomous everything." He paused. "Oh, and drop bears in Australia, those things are terrifying. And you evolved there," Dr. Mixtar said. "Your entire species was forged in an environment of constant mortal peril." When you say it like that, it sounds dramatic. But yeah, I guess so. Rivnal had pulled up comparative physiology data on her terminal. Humans have redundant organs. 2 kidneys when one would suffice. A backup respiratory pathway. Enhanced healing factors. Pain tolerance 3 times galactic average. Adrenaline response that temporarily increases strength by up to 40%. She looked up from her screen. "You are built like biological tanks." "I mean, we break pretty easily too," Tobias protested. "Twisted ankles, torn ligaments, broken bones. Happens all the time in sports." "And then you heal and continue playing sports," Velthos said. "We have footage of human athletes returning to competition after injuries that would permanently disable most species." "Well, yeah, with proper physical therapy and training. Can not just sit around feeling sorry for yourself. you know? Tobias stood up, stretched again. Anyway, sorry about your suit. I probably should have mentioned that I work out pretty seriously. Did not realize it would be an issue. This human, this walking disaster of biological over-engineering, did not realize that his casual hobby would obliterate 3 years of my research. Mr. Grant, I said slowly. What does your military use for physical training? Oh, they have way better stuff than civilian gyms. Weighted vests, resistance bands, altitude simulation, underwater training. Marines do pull-ups with full combat gear. Special forces guys train in environments that would make today look like a warm-up. He grinned. Why do you ask? I looked at Dr. Mixar. She looked back at me. We both looked at the pile of scrap that used to be the KG-4000. No reason, I lied. No reason at all, but I was already thinking about the implications. Humans were newcomers to the Galactic Council. Friendly, cooperative, eager to integrate. And apparently every single one of them was a biological nightmare wrapped in a pleasant smile and casual clothing. Their soldiers trained in conditions that exceeded my military-grade equipment. Their athletes performed feats that would kill most species. Their normal citizens, their average everyday people, possessed physical capabilities that we had designed entire technologies to simulate, and we had just invited them into the galactic community, given them access to our technology, our weapons, our ships. Tobias grabbed his gym bag, waved goodbye, and headed for the door. Thanks for letting me test the suit. Let me know if you build a Mark II version. I would love to help with the testing. The door closed behind him. We need to inform the council, Dr. Mixstar said quietly. And tell them what exactly? I replied. That humans are too physically capable, that we should restrict their access to military equipment because one of them destroyed our testing facility while exercising. Yes, she said firmly. Exactly that. I looked at the wreckage one more time. Thought about Rodriguez, who apparently benched 200 kilograms. Thought about Olympic athletes and strongman competitors. And whatever in the name of all stars a drop bear what? Nobody is going to believe us, I said. I know, Dr. Mixstar agreed. We stood there in silence. 2 engineers staring at the remains of our hubris, while somewhere in the station, Tobias Grant was probably already planning tomorrow's workout, and I realized something that chilled me to my core. He had called today's session pretty decent, not exceptional, not impressive, not even particularly difficult, pretty decent. May the ancestors help us all.